Newcastle, they're a good side. They're a really good side. They're tough to stop at home with the pressure of the crowd, the atmosphere, the physical players they have, the pressure they put on you, the press they have. They're a really good team, well coached side. Yeah, the player profiles are quite difficult to stop because there's so much running and so much defending you're gonna have to do go in there. Um I feel like Chelsea are kind of happy with this World Cup break because if like another 2 weeks of this, Potter might be gone again, might be gone. So it's a good time to stop, good time to regroup, and yeah, Chelsea need good um good time to self reflect on themselves. Chelsea, I mean, I feel like they've taken like 4 or 5 steps back this season. They were people were giving them title challengers last season. I never bought it. It's basically once they've removed Lukaku, it's the same team, and now look at them. They've spent so much money, and all their players are just mercenaries. They're just there for the wages, there to be in London. It kind of reminds me of how Arsenal was back in the day with all the players we signed. Um, but yeah, I'm happy. I don't mind seeing it because I'm an Arsenal fan. But I feel Potter should get some time. I'm not sure if he'll get it if the results continue, but I feel they should see past results and clearly see the team's not good enough. Onto Newcastle. Newcastle are doing this with a few players out as well, which is really impressive. Um, I want to shout out to my boy Joe Willock. Joe Willock is a really good player. Um, he just hasn't, this is the right club for him. It took his goal great. He's a good finisher. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Newcastle. Newcastle, I feel, should add in a January window. Not hardly any of their players are going to the World Cup, so it's a good time to get their rest and kick on again in the new year.
Yeah, Newcastle, they're a great team, well coached, fighting for each other, and that crowd behind them. That was the best atmosphere of the season. So shout out to the Newcastle fans for bringing it. They played well. The victory was deserved, creating chances, game without and this was without Callum Wilson as well, which is impressive. They still managed to get the goal. Almiron, my guy, played well, was creating chances, got the assist for Willock. Great finish from Joe Willock. Trippier was solid. He was creating chances himself. Defensively, he's better than what I thought. He is better than what I thought. I did have Kyle Walker in my England starting 11, but yeah, I had to think about that, and I think Trippier would be the better option. Plus, he has the set pieces as well, like you were mentioning El Caps. So yeah, Newcastle looking good. Sven Botman, I don't know why he wasn't in the Netherlands World Cup squad. I put him over Timber. I think he's better than Delict as well. Yeah, they've got a solid back four. Dan Burn, we said about Dan Burn, great defender as well. At that, I think he's 6'6", 6'7", and he can play left back.
Yeah, he's good on the ball. He
Good on
doesn't
the
get
ball as
caught
well.
out, doesn't get
Like,
outpaced. You'll think a 6'7" guy will get outpaced by everyone, but he doesn't.
I mean, come on, Gareth Southgate, 6'7", and you can play left back, and you're playing in the team with one of the best defensive records in the league. No brainer for me, but it is what it is. Chelsea, I was saying last week, Chelsea is a cemetery. Dead bodies everywhere. They need to get rid of over 50% of the squad. I don't know where the money went. They spent all this money, but the team's still bad. And I want to add another name to the cemetery list. I didn't say his name last week, but Jorginho, he's not good enough.
He's done, in it. He's done.
He is done. He can't control any midfield. It's not like he's a physical specimen. He can't impact the game in that way. The only thing he can do is those penalties. So yeah, tough job for Graham Potter. But Chelsea's management should look at Arsenal as an example. Because there was a point where people were screaming Arteta out. A large portion of the Arsenal fan base was screaming Arteta out. And he managed to turn it around. So Chelsea management should give Potter the time and the resources to build his team. and I think he'll come good. He'll definitely come good, but they need to get rid of a lot of players. A lot. They need to get a striker, a whole midfield, defense, all of it.
Yeah, for me, Newcastle, like I said last week, are a threat. They are a problem for the top four. And again, they dealt with Chelsea pretty comprehensively. 1-0 victory kind of flatters Chelsea, to be honest. Newcastle are better than that. And looking at the Newcastle team, their back four might be top three in the league, you know. I
Yeah,
can't think of many back fours better than them. They've got a solid back four. And even their midfield yesterday, yeah, there's so much more room to improve in that midfield. They can get a better player than Sean Longstaff. Joe Willock's good. He's a good squad player, but they could get better player than Willock. They still got my Alan St. Maximum chilling,
yeah,
come back from injury. Still got Alexander Isak, Callum Wilson. That team, yeah, I don't know where it is. Have we not given that guy enough credit, Eddie Howe? Because he's really doing. I didn't think he would do such a great job where they're third in the
yeah,
table. I didn't think he would be that good. I thought maybe they'd be like seventh,
yeah. Because
scrapping. They're annoying, but they're not really.
it's
But
not
for
like they did splash the cash on Isaac, but it's not like we thought it would be in terms of like 200 million. We thought they'll be spending money here and there, but even their major signing, they're doing it without him. They're still getting the wins without him. So
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
Howe has to get a lot of credit.
he has to get credit because he's really got these lot playing football. And as you said, the crowd is fully behind them because Newcastle, the one thing about them, their crowd has been through a lot. They went through the years of that sports direct Donny, Mike Ashley's ownership. They nearly went into is it litigation, mitigation, whatever
Administration, yeah,
administration. They nearly disappeared. You know, they've got a great stadium in St James's Park. The only team in the city was Sunderland, but Newcastle's Newcastle. You get me?
they've also been relegated too. You know.
And exactly. They got relegated. They came back.
Yeah,
So they've been through a lot. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Newcastle. They're a historic team. Remember back in the day when they were competing with United to win the league. They're
yeah,
historic. So it's good to see Newcastle doing well because they're a traditional powerhouse.
yeah. That's what I was saying. The league is better when Newcastle are playing well. Newcastle, one of them teams. I don't know. Like they create a buzz. I think it's the fans. The league's
It's
better
their
when
fans and it's the
Newcastle.
historic. Because like, remember
Yeah,
when
yeah, the
they had
history.
man like Shearer?
Yeah,
When they had Shearer back in the day, like Newcastle were everyone's second team because everyone likes Shearer. You'd always check out for them.
yeah,
And it's like they're starting to build that again. But now it's like they're not really anyone's second team. They're like the team you're thinking, raw. Like these men are really coming now. Like if we're not careful, they're gonna take our spot. So it's good to see that. I like it. Chelsea, on the other hand, like you said, Dens, dead bodies FC. Dead bodies, bruv. Finito, finished. Zombieland. Like they've spent so much money, spent nearly 300 million on nothing. Koulibaly moving like a dead body. Cucurella ain't been great. Wesley Fofana, is he injured?
yeah.
yeah.
Sterling, bro, that Sterling still got the Queen's head on it. It's not Sterling no more, man. That currency's outdated now, man.
Yeah,
That pound has still got the Queen's head on it. It's not really Sterling no more, man. It's weird. I love the guy. That's my guy, but yeah, man, he needs more shillings. That currency's finished. Yeah, like you said, they need a big overhaul. They need.
yeah,
Would
man.
I sack Graham Potter? No, because I said it last week. This is not his team. He's coming to do. He's coming to take over another man's team, another man's project. Give him time. Give him the resources to build a team around his style of football. We've seen what he did with another Premier League team in Brighton, where he had the time and the resources to build his team. We've seen that he's made some smart signings. Remember, Consido, when people could have bought him, he bought him for like 4 million, and now he's worth about 60. He's made some excellent signings. Cucurella brought him in, and then Chelsea ended up buying him for 60. So we've seen what he can do with time and with the resources. And with Chelsea, that those resources are times 10. So you give him time, give him his own team to work with, and you'll see results. I don't think it's a time to be calling for his head or to be doubting him. This is not his team. This is not his team. This is just him trying to patch it up. Those men are crap. Chelsea are rubbish. And I'm so annoyed that United drew with that team. We should have beaten them. We should have beaten Chelsea. It's because Penn Jr. got that lucky penalty. Well, it wasn't lucky because that bozo McTominay was moving mad. But still, we should have beaten that team, man. We had no business drawing with them. Yeah, Chelsea. No, I hate Chelsea, man. I'm glad their demise. I'm happy for their demise, man.
So many Havertz.
Useless.
Fam. Kante, my guy, injury prone.
He's done.
Yeah,
now.
he's useless because he's injured.
Done out here.
Aubameyang, done.
Useless.
Boy.
We can go on and on.
Done.
Useless.
Yeah, Pulisic, done.
Loftus-Cheek is just a supermodel, light-skinned model, bro. Useless.
Yeah, we can go on and on.
Hakim Ziyech, useless.
Done. Thiago Silva, like,
he's holding it down a little bit.
He's 37, 38 years old.
Yeah.
But he's 38 going on 59. And he's still trying.
Bro, I'm sure he came, he was like, yeah, I'm here as more of an influence off the pitch. I'm not here to be their best defender playing week in, week out.
Bro, that guy must breathe out dust at this point. But he's still going. Yeah, Chelsea, their team is useless.
Even
Broya.
Broya.
Can't blame the manager. Broya, I've said it. I don't rate him.
Not good enough.
I rate Broya. He's not that good. So yeah, Chelsea.
Saying that, we've talked about all the players that are finished. Can you think of 5 Chelsea players that you would keep that are deserving of being in a top team like Chelsea and are playing well?
I would keep Kovacic.
Yeah, he's a good player. Kovacic is a really good player.
Mendy, I'll keep as a squad player.
Mendy's not good. He's not good.
Mendy, I think Mendy's decent squad. I'm looking at the lineups.
Maybe Ben Chilwell.
Reece
James.
Yeah, Reece James. And then
yeah. Maybe Fofana and Mount.
Yeah, Fofana, Mount. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Dennis Zakaria?
I haven't seen much of him.
Nope. I haven't seen much of him, man. If you can't get in this dead midfield. Yeah. Well, one more. Can you think of anyone else?
No.
I would keep Shillings because of his history with City. There's still a bit of hope in me that he could do something.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think his best position is a 10. So I think you'll see a good Raheem Sterling if he plays in a 10. But I've got one more question. SB, you mentioned in the group chat yesterday, you said that Joe Willock is better than Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, he 100% is. I'm sure I said it. I'm sure I said it somewhere, and I'm sure it's documented somewhere, whether on my WhatsApp group chats, Twitter, somewhere. But I was saying Willock was better than Conor Gallagher. What Willock did for Newcastle, what was it, like 2 seasons ago? He scored like 7 matches in a row, 8 matches in a row. That's a Premier League record. Willock can actually put out a Premier League record in his career. Gallagher scored a few goals for Crystal Palace, and the Crystal Palace side that doesn't want to keep the ball, just runs around and tackles people, and scores. He's got good technique. He can score a goal. Them two are very similar players, but I feel they're at the very least on the same level. I feel Joe Willock is better, but people don't view Joe Willock in the same light as Conor Gallagher because of Chelsea and the way people view Chelsea, the way people view Chelsea's academy, and it's because of the hair. It's definitely because of the hair. That's why people rate Conor Gallagher. It's a feel-good story. We love to hype up young players, and he was doing all right at Crystal Palace, but he would score. What was he? Is he a goal-scoring midfielder? And if that's the case, he scored about 4 or 5 goals last year. Is he I thought he's in a mode of Kante, where he's gonna nick the ball and work really hard and loads of stamina.
Who's in the mode of Kante?
I didn't say he is Kante. He has
Oh.
similar attributes to Kante.
Who?
Conor Gallagher,
What attribute?
being box to box, being able to high work rate, tackle, nick the ball, get in the box, cause mayhem. That's what his best attributes are. And can those attributes always translate to top teams unless you're Kante?
I think you're doing Gallagher a disservice, man.
We'll see.
Gallagher at Palace, what he did last season, Willock's not doing that. Gallagher and Zaha were the wind beneath Palace's wings last season. Them man were single-handedly saving Palace week in, week out. I can't see Willock going to Palace and doing what Gallagher did.
He went to Newcastle though and did a madness.
Newcastle's run.
He literally kept
Newcastle
up. He kept Newcastle up in half a season, basically.
Half the season was when they got Bruno Guimaraes in. They had
no, the season before.
The season before.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
did his thing,
but nah, man. Conor Gallagher, bro, he was sourcing. What he did at Palace last season, yeah, he was sourcing. I'm still taking Gallagher over Willock. I'm still taking Gallagher over Willock.
It's tough, man. The thing is with Conor Gallagher, when I saw him for Palace, I thought he was a good player, like good on the ball. But when he's playing for Chelsea, I'm realizing he's not as good on the ball as I thought. He's not good technically like that. Yeah. He's a good striker of the ball, and he works hard, and he's got long hair. That's about it.
Think about it, yeah. At Palace, he was near enough the center of the earth for Palace. Everything went through him. At Chelsea, he's had to adapt to a new role.
Yeah. What I would say,
it's difficult. Because you've gone from being instrumental, being the main, you're literally the orbit, to now you're just a plug in the system.
What I will say with Palace, you say he's the main because he was tasked with pressing, and Palace back then didn't really want the ball. So is he that type of player where he thrives in a team without the ball, which are more likely the lesser teams in the league? When you go to Chelsea, you're expected to be on the ball and dominate 60% of the ball. Can you step up to that level? We've seen many players who play really well in smaller teams where they can just have free reign to do what they want. And when they get the ball, it might be few and far between, and they can just do what they like. Whereas with Chelsea, you've got to be very considerate of what you're doing. You've got to play with other people. You can't just play for yourself. And when you get it, you can't just be shooting. You can't just be spamming in crosses. So that's just my point of view. I still think Conor Gallagher is a good player. I would definitely take him at Arsenal. And yeah, he's a really good player. But I feel he just feels overhyped. And he's at least the same level as Joe Willock for me. Joe Willock has more ability for me overall.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, both of you made great points. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Because, like I said, Conor Gallagher is not as good as I thought he was. But Joe Willock, has he got more ability than Conor Gallagher? Can I really say that? I'm not sure I can go all the way and say that. But yeah, we'll see over time. We'll see how they both develop.